Good morning. This is Oscar Arzola, a product engineer from Nolti. Today, I'm going to talk about motivation, and I am going to talk to you about Payoff. It's a book written for by Dan Ariely. So I hope you enjoy this talk and you want to take some good for your life. So this presentation, it's called The Hidden Logic That Shapes Our Motivations. What I like to do in this presentation is sharing with you some ideas behind this amazing book about the things that shapes our motivations. First, I'll talk about 3 key points that I found useful to understand the logic behind our decision making when motivation is a factor. So, in this book, I got like three keys that it will be helpful to understand how can we be more motivated. So lesson one is meaningful work can be measurable, but yet still make you happy. So the author says that reducing motivation to money and status is a huge mistake. It's a complex construct with variables such as happiness, achievement, pride, fulfillment, and countless other intangibles factoring into the equation. So, for instance, even if not chances are you're not doing it just for the monthly paycheck, for most people, the best way to get a big sense of meaning from their work is to contribute to a bigger mission. So, for instance, sure, sipping pina coladas all day on the beach will be nice for a while, but the happiness from such pleasure activities is always short-lived. It can't possibly compete with the prospect of proper meaning. So, lesson 2, effort engenders meaning. The more work you put in something, the more meaningful it will seem to you. This principle piggybacks off one of the strangest biases in humans, the sunk cost fallacy. I want to talk about the sunk cost fallacy a little. So let me move to the other slide. So this is an example of the sunk cost fallacy. In economics, a sunk cost is any past cost that has already been paid and cannot be recovered. For example, a business may have invested $1 million into new hardware. This money is now gone and cannot be recovered, so it shouldn't figure into the business decision making process. So as you can see in this funny picture, sometimes we felt in this fallacy in a lot of things in our lives, but when it comes to motivation, it will be advantageous. So naturally we hold onto something ever tighter. The more time and effort we invest into it, this often works against us because it makes it too hard to let it go things that aren't working. But when it comes to motivation, this can have advantages. So in other words, hard work will give you a sense of motivation even we think the opposite. I know surely you heard this phrase before. Work smarter, not harder. But when it comes to motivation, probably you will say work harder but smarter. So here is how this is how the author verified that this idea. Yeah, so He took two groups of people and gave them the task of folding origamis. One group received wheel writing instructions and pictures with directional arrows, leading them step by step. The others were given minimal and even slightly confusing guidance. As we'll expect, the guided group's origamis looked a lot better, but when they were asked how much they were willing to charge for what they made, the do-it-yourselfers outbid their first group by far. Clearly, putting in all this work had made their results more meaningful to them. So the second factor is effort, and the first key is meaningless or meaning. Lesson 3, external motivators aren't sustainable. The author found that external motivators such as money or social status will work in the short term, but actually hurt your motivation in the long term. So many studies have been conducted in this field. The author performed one in 2013 in a factory of Intel in Israel. He promised the workers to receive a cash bonus in the morning if they met a certain quota at the day before. So many workers relied and completed the task. However, the second day the money was in their pocket, so their productivity dropped not just back to normal levels, but even below them. So before offering extra cash, you are better off not providing incentives at all. So he created like another approach to review if this can be different. So he controlled this with a pizza group and a compliment group. So it turned out the latter performed the best throughout the week, all thanks to a simple well done that they received from their boss in the morning. So this factor is very interesting because sometimes we think we need more money or maybe another position in the company, but sometimes when it comes to motivation, we need to find the things that motivate ourselves internally. So this is called intrinsic motivation. So in summary, motivation is the result of several factors, but a sense of purpose tops the list. Working towards goals you can achieve is highly motivating, and invested effort and sense of ownership lead to value. So I want to close with this reflection. Take 15 minutes over lunch to reflect on ways to heighten the sense of ownership and pride you take in your work. Specifically, think about the distinct contributions you make to your company that no one else could make. So understanding the value you bring to the company will certainly stoke your motivation and will in turn make you a better, happier person. So thank you. This is all. If you have any question, please leave it on the YouTube comment section. Well, if you have any comment later, please leave your comments on the YouTube channel, and we are going to answer as soon as possible. Thank you.